Okay, so AI and me, for a long time, we were not friends. In fact, I was dead against it. I hated it. As someone who works with their hands and creates with passion and love and feeling, I felt that AI was the antithesis of all of that. And I felt like it was the beginning of the end for creatives. And honestly, I still fear what's ahead. But I can't deny that I am increasingly finding a use for AI and appreciating what it can do and how it can help me. So, right now, I don't know what we are. Are we frenemies? Are we reluctant work colleagues, collaborators? Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so let's talk about why AI and I were not on friendly terms. First off, I have a real problem with the way that AI companies have obtained the images that teach their AI models like ChatGPT. AI models don't just magically know how to make art. They have to be taught, and they learn by consuming a ridiculous amount of data. And where do they get that data from? Well, they learn by consuming vast data sets from places like Instagram or Adobe, and these include copyrighted works. So, images have been taken from artists without their permission and certainly without compensation. So, it's basically theft. Then let's get into the soul crushing existential crisis that AI art creates. I mean, what even is the value of art when a bot can generate an image in 5 seconds flat? Something that might take me 20 hours of work to create. The whole point of art is that it is essentially human. It's a mix of skill, experience, storytelling, passion, feeling. But these days, someone could just quickly type in brightly coloured straw flowers, lino print style, and boom, they've got something perhaps that maybe isn't exactly the same thing as I would create, but something that would look very similar to what I would make and something that would take me hours, maybe weeks to make. You know, it's like watching someone choose a microwavable meal to eat after you've actually been slaving over a hot stove all day and made put a lot of effort into making this beautiful meal. It's depressing and disheartening. So yeah, I hated AI. I hated what it stood for and what it was doing to the creative industry and the way that it seemed to be making what I do cheap and disposable. Okay, but here's the plot twist. At a long, boring trade fair recently, I got talking to another artist friend, and she started talking to me about how she uses ChatGPT as an extra pair of hands, as a sounding board, as a virtual personal assistant. And of course, I got curious. And despite my reservations, I started using AI not to make art, but to make my life as an artist easier. And I have to admit, it's very useful and at times pretty mind blowing. So here's how I've gone from being foes to friends with AI. Coming up with compositions can be really hard. I find it pretty difficult to sketch from my imagination. Everyone's different, but I find that I really like to use reference photos, and I use a lot of photos that I take myself. But sometimes that's just not practical. Perhaps you have a picture of a landscape, but your photography skills just aren't great and you can't get the perspective right. Pinterest is full of reference photos, and I have certainly looked there before, but I don't want to have to use someone else's image without permission. So it can take hours to gather appropriate reference images and to sketch and then adjust the sketch. And even after all that, sometimes you just can't get it right. So now I've been using AI to help me create some compositions. It's not about replacing my creativity, it's about giving me a bit of a starting point. I am a creative person, but as my eldest child likes to point out, I am unfortunately also quite chaotic. My brain is a bit like my phone. I have 455 tabs open at any one time, which makes it quite hard to navigate back to the tab that I actually need. AI tools like ChatGPT actually do help me to plan my days and set goals and reminders and remember deadlines. which is much better than having 3 diaries on the go, which is what I was doing previously. I can set myself reminders and automate tedious tasks, and even use AI to structure my projects better. So there's no more losing track of deadlines or forgetting art commissions or um, forgetting to fill orders because I got distracted by a cool new printing technique. Need to know the history of a weird art movement? ChatGPT's got me. Need a quick summary of the most popular paint pigments and history of those pigments? AI can research that for me. It's a cheat code for research. It helps me to get the information that I need quickly so that I can get back to the making of art, which is what I really want to do. I also use AI to help me brainstorm ideas. So if I wanted to create a range of cards featuring popular Gen Z sayings, it can help me get started. It's giving cringe. I love making art, but I do not love making social media. I don't love spending a lot of time on captions or trying to think up a new way to describe a product in my online store. So AI can help me to draft posts, write newsletters, so that I can spend more time making the art, getting my hands dirty, rather than sitting at my keyboard waiting for inspiration to strike. I can plug in a few keywords and then AI will generate captions, hashtags, and even tweak the tone to match my brand. AI fills in the gaps when I need it. Because let's be real, sometimes my brain just doesn't have the energy or the space to be witty and engaging on command. AI and I are still in a weird place. I still have big problems with how it's being used. I still think companies need to do better by artists, but I also can't ignore how great a tool it is and how it's making aspects of my creative life easier and more efficient. At the end of the day, AI isn't the enemy. The way that some companies use AI, now that's a different story. But for now, I'm choosing to make AI work for me, not the other way around. So, what do you think? Do you use AI as an artist, or are you part of the resistance? Let me know in the comments, unless you're an AI bot, in which case, move along. You've done enough already.